All right, Make the Turn with Anthony Tomey, my good friend for many years now, and Allison joining us from our team as well. Anthony, how are you?
I'm doing well, Mike. Thanks for having me on. This is a beautiful office. Great setup here, guys.
No, I appreciate it, and we're pumped to have you, and we try and keep these casual, almost like Joe Rogan style, where, I don't want to, number one, I can't sit here and read your entire resume because you have so much stuff going on between Born in Detroit and between Game Above and between the, of course, Tomey Group and Jimmy John's, but we're going to get into all that. And looking forward just to talking about your career, talking about your values, and hopefully people, the goal of this, as we talk about the Make the Turn podcast, is to also just give some advice for people maybe thinking about making the turn in their career, turning points in their career, taking it to the next level type thing. So,
for sure. I'm an open book. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm down.
And Allison, your first time joining the podcast as well, so we're pumped up for that.
I'm excited.
Let's do this.
I'm really excited.
Absolutely. Okay, so I want to start. Let's look back before we talk about present. I know Catholic Central means a lot to you. I know your childhood and certainly playing baseball, and you played it at the highest level. Let's start kind of early on with childhood and education and go from there. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I grew up in Farmington Hills, been a Michigan guy my whole life, right? Grew up in Farmington Hills, went to Our Lady Sorrows, had a chance to go to, any of the local schools, St. Mary's, Brother Rice, U of D, CC, and chose CC. Loved that place. Is probably the best 4 years of my life. So many of my best friends are still my best friends from CC.
Yeah.
We still do a ton of stuff. Our kids hang. A lot of those guys have older kids. I have young kids, right? And we still do everything together. We're still best friends. We cannot see each other for a little while, and boom, it's like nothing doesn't skip a beat.
Yep.
It's really crazy how it all works, and we just die for each other. It's just the way it's always been. They'll be my best friends my whole entire until I die, probably.
Yeah.
So.
That's and obviously playing baseball. We just had Jack Brucewitz on earlier, talked about similar topic with Catholic League connections, lifelong friends, but sports as well. What sports teaches you for not only life, but the business world, and that correlation as well.
100%. I mean, we were just talking about it earlier. When you grow up, you're in high school, you're like, man, I hate those guys at Brother Rice or any of the Catholic League schools. You play them all the time, and all football, basketball, baseball. Those are the guys you end up doing business with. Those are successful people. They grow up with the same morals, same everything, same kind of great family aspect. They're very successful people. You do a ton of business with those guys. And, something my dad always taught me, you are who your friends are, right? And it's like the most true statement of all time. If your friends are video game guys, you're going to be a video game guy. If your friends are druggies, you're going to be a druggie. If your friends are athletes, you're going to be with athletes. And I want to take my kids, I got 3 little boys, right? And I want them to continue to be athletic. Not because I've been there, right? It's not because I think they're all going to go to the league. That's not the case, right? I hope to God that's amazing if they do, but there's a 0% chance, right? Like literally almost zero. Yeah. So it's about keeping them in shape, keeping them in good shape, competing, right? If I could hire anyone in the world, I'd always hire athletes if I could, right? Just because those guys are going to compete. They have a great story. They know how to talk. They're always pretty good looking people. They take care of their bodies. It's a big thing in life, and it's just a great networking. It's a great story. You walk in, you can say, I played at X school. Oh, tell me about that. And that's your intro.
And,
right?
and to your point about, you are the company you keep as well.
Yeah,
with who you surround yourself with. You played,
100%.
Club volleyball at Grand Valley. I'm sure you think similar with what that teaches you.
The drive is just different between I've worked with, people in my classes, and just the athletes are just drive's different, their work ethic, committing to something. So I think it's huge.
It is. It's one of those things that you just do. Like, I'm still a weirdo. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I go to the gym. I have to. And it's like an addiction to me. I feel fat. I feel like I can't fit in my own clothes.
I wish I had that.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about that. I have to worry about that, right?
But I also think with athletics, and I think this is an underrated trait that it teaches you, because we can talk about networking, we can talk about hard work and like you said, drive and all those great things, but the concept of time management is more. It is so important in life. I feel like I'm lecturing the people right now. It is so important in life. Half the battle's just showing up on time, literally.
Yeah, 100%.
With how things are. So what athletics teaches you? study hall's at this time, workouts are at this time, then we're going to watch film. You better not be late. We're, in the Catholic League, I was Catholic League. We have to go to church at this time.
Yeah.
Then we're going to lift weights and the game times. That it teaches you to show up on time, and that translates to life, and it translates to job interviews and business meetings. I think time management is huge that athletics teaches you.
Crucial. I mean, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late, right? Everyone knows that. There's so many things you can do. I do more than most people do by 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get all these things done. You take care of it. Do I like getting up at 5 a.m.? No, it sucks. It's awful, right? But at the end of the day, I have so much more time, and I don't have that 9 to 5 job where I'm done. I turn it off, game over at 5 p.m. I'm 24 hours a day.
Right. Same.
Anyone can call me at any time. I'm going to answer the phone. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make that thing work. I coach all my kids' stuff. Like, people think I'm insane. How do I coach 3 baseball teams, 3 flag football teams, a basketball team? I just make it happen because I structure my whole day around everything I have to do and get done.
I think the concept of work-life balance, is a hot button thing, but it doesn't exist. What exists is what you just said. What exists are your priorities,
Yes,
and how you prioritize, of course, your family and your work and all of this. You're going to prioritize coaching your kid's game more so than taking a meeting, because that's what you want to do. It's your priority, and you can do it.
And you can, and that, you're just like you said, the work-life balance needs to be earned. It doesn't need to be given, right? You have to earn that work-life balance when you're young, and you got to grind and you got to make it happen to get to that point in your life where you can. I've worked my butt off for 20 some years to get to the point where at 23 years in now, at Jimmy John or Tomey Group, I can do what I have to do. If my kid has a game practice at 4 o'clock, I'm going to leave, right? But I can still take my call, do whatever. But earlier in my life, when I was single and just 25 years old, I'll work till midnight. I could care less. I'll eat rocks, man. Whatever it takes to get it done, you're going to do that. And that's the mentality that I think a lot of people don't have right now. They want to just walk in the door, do my job I'm paid to do nothing extra to make that happen, and then be like, why am I not getting paid X amount of money?
Entrepreneurship and business ownership, you can't just turn it off.
No,
and it is that 24/7 type thing where I can. I've always struggled with turning it off because I just can't. My entire livelihood and other people's livelihoods are teams. Quite literally with paychecks and food on the table, whatever analogy you want to use. But my entire livelihood depends on the success or the fail of my business. You just 100%. Think about it differently, and you're not just checking out at 9 to 5 type thing. What I try to do though is I can still be present, and I think that's important. Where I can't just check out. Oh, I don't want anything to do with it. I'm not looking at my email, whatever. But I can be present from the standpoint of, hey, I know that let's say I have a dinner that I really care about with my parents or with my girlfriend or whatever. And I know this is going to be an hour and a half or something. Let me be active and locked in, and I will check everything after that, and I will get back to it and 100%. Do what I have to do. But I think it's important to be present as well.
You have to be present, but you have to be responsible for your people. Like I said, I feed 700 people, 700 families. Yeah. That's what, and I'm not feeding them well, obviously, but my guys make X amount of money, but you take pride in that, right? Like, I take pride in being like, my company is able to have 700 and so employees, and those people are living. They're living off of what we do. So it's not about me doing something. It's about everyone doing something, right?
And that's a huge responsibility. Huge. And how you explain, it's not a 9 to 5. It is a different mindset of being checked in.
Yeah, and you have to be able to build these things. Like, people aren't going to stick around if they don't see if they see a ceiling. They're like, man, this is where I'm at. I can't get anything above this. So that's why we keep growing. Like, I don't just have companies for fun, right? We just keep growing different companies and growing.
You have a lot of them.
The empire. I got a couple, but I have a couple. But that's what you have to do. If they don't see that growth, they're going to stop. They're not going to work for you. They see that, man, I can go become X, Y, and Z. I want to become an executive. I want to move up. I want to make more money. Then the opportunity is there to do that.
How did it start from let's talk about your baseball career and then transition in sports into business.
Yeah. So I was drafted out of high school, actually, by Cleveland Indians, which are the Guardians now, but I'm still going with the Indians. Cleveland Indians out of high school, and I had a choice, right? I had So my parents are not athletic, right? My dad's 5'6", 150 pounds. My mom is 5 foot tall. I'm 6'4", 270 pounds.
Oh.
So I don't know how this all works. I didn't really question if he's my dad, but there's definitely a coin flip maybe. He took care of me, so he's my dad, right? But it's one of those things where we didn't know, right? And my parents are they're boaters, right? They're immigrants from Lebanon, so they're not like knew nothing about sports. I was good. I was really good, right? And so I had a full ride offer to Eastern Michigan, which is impossible in baseball. There's only 11.7 scholarships for the entire team. So I had all these looks. I signed at Eastern because that's what you did back in the day. You signed at the early signing period, and that was it. You're locked in.
Different
right?
day nowadays.
Different day. So then I go down into perfect game, and I was one of the top 100 players in the country. I killed it. Did amazing. I was on the same team as the top 2 picks that year, Josh Hamilton and Josh Beckett.
Oh wow!
Right. I was on the same, and I played right with those guys. I had all these offers, but I had already signed, so I was done. Wow. So I was like, all right. I get drafted out of high school. We won the state championship. It was pitcher of the year, player of the year, All-American, all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm going pro. My dad's like, you're not going anywhere, son, for $250,000. You're not going anywhere. You're going to go to school. So I went to school. Best decision we made. Obviously, once you go back and you see, you're like, man, if I had gone out of high school, like I would have been lost. I wouldn't have had the personality that I had. All the money would have been gone. You pay. It's America. You pay taxes. Mm-hmm. Half that thing's gone in a heartbeat, right? So, and then you realize how much of a business the game is, right? Mm-hmm. So we did that. Went to college. Had a great career there. Got drafted by the Tigers, which is really cool. Ended up signing. Played 6.5 years. Played with some of the best players of all time, with Verlander, Scherzer, Cabrera, all these guys. I mean, just being around those guys.
So cool.
I got Donnie Kelly into Jimmy John's. I got a couple of my other buddies in the minor leagues into Jimmy John's. So it was awesome. Best time of my life. Great, part of it. I do it for free. If you ask me to right now, I go play for free. It's just that cool of a thing to be able to do. Travel the country, meet so many people. Speaking of Grand Valley, my best place I loved, West Michigan. Michigan Whitecaps.
It's a great place.
Greatest town. I love Grand Rapids.
Games? No, I didn't. I didn't.
Greatest place. This place would sell out 13,000 a game.
I've heard,
The way they treat their players and the people, like they don't have teams up there, right? So they die for you. Like you're the
Griffins.
Coolest,
they die for the Griffins.
You're the coolest thing that's ever happened. These kids want your autograph, and the parents and the people. It's just amazing area out there in Grand Rapids. Hidden gem in the country. I promise you on that. But really cool deal. And then when I signed, we decided to go open up Jimmy John's. My dad, being Lebanese, like, let's go get a gas station. And I was like, no, we're not going to do that. He's like,
so and let me frame it this way. As we're here on the Make the Turn podcast, what a plug. When you made the turn from baseball to business, what was that like? Or was it, as you're saying, was it simultaneous where you started it while you were playing?
It was. I was 21. We had just signed. We signed the contract with Jimmy John's, and we opened the store that following year. And we opened up 4 stores at that point. We were building our 5th. Things were going well, right? I'd come home and work in the off season, start sampling, getting things out there.
Wow! So you're playing baseball and starting business at the same time.
I mean, I literally would get up like the same thing. I get up in the morning. I go work out with. There was only the trainer from the Tigers lived here. Denny Taft, and only Nate Robertson also lived here.
Sure.
So him and I would go work out in the mornings at High Velocity in Canton. I drive all the way to Canton or to Detroit, right, to the Tiger facility, go work out. Then I work all day at Jimmy John's, doing whatever I had to do, get everything else done. And I was just all year round, right, going at it.
And at that point, you had how many locations?
I had 4.
And now you're at?
Now we're at 51.
Oh my God.
So
let's hear about this.
That was kind of the deal, yes.
Take this where you want. We want to hear about that.
So 2008. We're literally opening. We opened the store October 30th. November 1st, all went to hell, right? The whole world, right? The whole economy went down. Everything died. I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? Obviously, we made it through, did well. My dad's like, okay, we're good. We're making some money. Things are going well. If you keep playing, you go ahead and keep playing. I'm just signed with the Dodgers at that point, right? If you want to keep going, if you want to retire, we'll grow. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's make this happen. Wow. I had to make a decision, right? You had to make, was I making millions of dollars playing baseball? No, right? I was that fringe guy in AAA sitting there. And I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and blow this thing up. And the next 10 years, we opened up 18 more stores. Mm-hmm. And then 2019, we took this crazy chance, right? This guy comes up to me, Cliff, and he's like, he's the #1 franchisee in the country. And he's like, I want you to take my Detroit stores. I'm getting out. So we bought 27 stores overnight, biggest Jimmy John's deal in history at that point. And we flipped double the company overnight. Took a huge risk and calculated, and it worked out for us.
So I do want to ask, again, make the turning point in your career. Walk us through how you made that decision and that tipping point in your head. You love baseball. You finally said, I'm done playing baseball. I'm going into business.
It was tough, right? It was really tough. I had an unbelievable, best year of my life, 2007, right? I had a 1.9 ERA, led the league in appearances. I was in the All-Star team. I'm waiting for the call up, getting ready to go. I couldn't do any more than I did. A 1.9 ERA is insane in AA, AAA, right? It's not a thing. And they're like, we want you up here. Leland and Jeff Jones, Dombrowski gave it the kibosh. He's like, he's not throwing 100. That's when we had Zumaya and Ryan Perry, all these guys throwing gas. And I'm like, I thought the point of baseball was to get people out, which I did. I got people out, right? My ball moves. I don't even know where the ball's going, right? I'm throwing it here, there. I'm a weirdo, right? I'm just making it happen. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't going to work. I don't think that this is not going to last that much longer. The Jimmy John's has a chance. I think we can grow this thing. I know, and I believe in myself, and I believe in what we do. And
was that a quick decision for you? Again, your passion for baseball, I'm sure it's not easy. I remember when I decided my freshman year of college, hey, I'm not going to the NFL. I'm going to quit playing football. I'm going to go do something else. Was it a decision where you made it, hey, I'm quickly making it, I know it's right, or did it take some time, or what?
No, it took some time. I talked to a couple of my buddies that were playing and doing all that stuff, and they're like, we had talked about it during the season, a couple of guys and I, and actually those guys still own Jimmy John's in Tampa right now, those two guys. And we decided kind of that last month, we're like, this is our farewell tour. We started taking pictures and doing weird things. And we're like, we need to shut it down.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those things I made it all the way up. You're sitting there, you're like, man, this is such a business. I had the best ERA, the best everything. And guys are flying by you, right? Like this guy's throwing 100, he can't throw a strike, but he throws 100, so we'll bring him up instead. You're like, at that point, you're like, you know what? This is a business. Yeah. And you could stick around long enough, you're going to get your chance. You might not, right? And at that point in your life, you got to be like, man, I want to go home. I want to go get married, go have a family, do this. That didn't happen for a minute for me. But eventually, you do that, but you start making a business and you see money coming in. You're like, this is what my future is going to be no matter what.
Yeah.
And you also see guys that had retired before you or got cut. And they're out there struggling, man. They're doing whatever. They don't know what to do. They only knew baseball. They didn't know what to do with their life.
Wow.
And like we talked about earlier, athletes do well, right? Yeah. Everyone wants them, insurance or sales or medical devices, all that. But that was not in the cards for me. I knew that we were going to have this business. And at no point in my life was like, man, I can't wait to go open some restaurants, make some sandwiches. But you know what? That's the opportunity that God gave us. Mm-hmm. And you got to take it and you got to run. And if you don't, that's on you, right?
Yeah. Definitely. I feel like even when I left college, because I played club volleyball, not to any level that you played, but it was hard leaving it and leaving everything behind and understanding that I'm not going to play anymore. Yeah, and I feel like that'd be really difficult to decide for yourself. It kind of just happened for me. But
it is. I mean, how long you played volleyball for 18 years of your life? Probably, right? You're 20-something years old. You probably started at 6, 7 years old, right? Playing all those sports, right? And sometimes they'll tell you, hey, we're good, man.
Yeah.
We're it's enough. But when you get to that level, if you can play, listen, there's 0%, there's 1-2% people that can play in college, nonetheless play professionally.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, they tell you in the pros, never leave until they rip that jersey off of you. That's what they tell you. Keep playing, try and keep do whatever. And for some guys, that's what it is, right? But I think I was blessed to be able to have something in my back pocket ready to go and grow. And it's tough.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off and just go and just make it happen, right? And so like you said, you make that turn in your life and you're like, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm proud. It's not the sexiest thing on earth, right? I'm making sandwiches, right? But at the end of the day, I'm proud. We have 51 Jimmy John's. I feed 700 families. We've grown this thing to whatever it is today. And I'm proud to be like, I'm the Jimmy John's guy. Oh, you're the Jimmy John's guy? Yeah, that's me.
What has been a key to the scale specifically?
The people. Our people. Our number one guy, Adam's going to be 20 years. My number two guy, Corey, 18 years. Wow. 17 years, our number 3. Our top 10, 15 people are 10 years plus. That doesn't happen in that quick service fast food
That speaks to you guys, definitely.
I think that kind of speaks to how we operate. We treat them like family. We pay them well. We don't like, hey, you're out of PTO today. You're sick. You can't,
Right.
Just make it happen. Get your stuff done. I don't micromanage it. You get your things done. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Just get the work done. And if Sully calls in and says, I'm out, I'm sick, make it happen.
I don't take sick days.
Right? You don't. I don't. Either do I. I actually had a certificate. I never missed a day of school from kindergarten through high school.
That's
That's
impressive.
One day of school.
That's impressive.
Probably because I eat food off the floor back in the day, and I had enough.
Your
I'm
immune
immune
system.
to everything, right? But
I love the example you talk about too, and I hate even bringing up the word COVID in general because it was such a ridiculous time.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go there. But I remember during COVID, you were talking about, and this was not in any way a PR thing or anything like that, but the visual and the optics of you guys diving in and saying, hey, our locations need help delivering stuff. I'm going to take my Escalade and I'm going to just deliver sandwiches. As the owner of all these locations, it's unbelievable.
It's what you had to do, right? So we ended up having to close. So every day for the first week of COVID, right? I'm sitting there looking at 3:00. That's like our time, right? 11 to 3 is our lunchtime. Okay, well, this store sucks. These 10 stores aren't making any money right now. Close them, close them, close them, close them. Keep these ones open till 6 or 7. We were navigating, right? Trying to make money, not lose money, whatever the case. And then our employees were like getting scared. I was like, okay, screw it. We're shutting all these stores down. So I shut down every single store we had, 50 locations.
Wow.
Shut down for 6 weeks.
That's a tough call.
Yeah.
A week later, a couple of days later, I get a call from my friend Jeff Glover. And he's like, hey, I want to feed all these first responders. Can we make that happen? I'm like, let's go. So we've made 50 party boxes for them. He brought a TV crew. They publicized it, put in the papers on TV. All of a sudden, I started getting calls. Hey, man, I want to feed some first responders. I want to feed these hospital people, these police departments. And so Michael and I made this whole thing of going in every single day out of one store. We're ordering produce, ordering food, getting whatever, making it ourselves, making it happen.
That's so cool.
And then all of a sudden we're doing this every day.
Yeah.
Like we're making, 4 or 5, nothing crazy, but like a couple $1,000 a day, giving it to, first responders, to hospitals, to teachers, whomever, right? Whatever's going on. And it just kept us going for a minute. It kept me out of the house, which I didn't want to sit there and do that, which I went to the office the second day. I was like, I'm not sitting here, but at the end of the day, it taught us a lot. We had 800 employees February of 2020. We come back of this under 500.
Wow.
In April, we open the stores again. So we're opening 50 locations with 300 less people.
Jeez.
So we're working these stores with 2 or 3 people at a store, and we're busier than ever.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's dying to go eat, get out of their house, go eat, do whatever. So, and then, but that was, in your point to make the turn, that was the turning point for us as a company. We did $32 million in 2019. 2020, $31 million.
Wow.
And then it just grew and grew, and now we're at $50 million. I mean,
That's
it's just,
great.
it's nuts like how this all just happened, and it just kind of just blew up out of nowhere, man. And it just really set us to where we're at. And we were probably a little heavy on the labor before, and now we know how to work efficiently and how to make things happen. And everyone's grew from it.
Yep.
Obviously, it was the worst time ever, but it ended up being one of the best things for us as a company.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask as well. You have a ton going on in other areas.
Yeah.
I know I'm super involved with Eastern. You do a lot with Game Above. Certainly, what you're wearing right now, Born in Detroit, it would be great to get into next because that brand has just exploded. So, why don't we start there and tell us how the Born in Detroit brand, and you've built it so well. How did it all come about?
Crazy story. So, my brother and I, we're big guys at our church. We like to be involved and do stuff like that. And so all of our fundraising for the church is always done by the adults, right? I'm not an adult. Mentally, I'm like 17, right? And we don't make money. They have a nice little party. It's kind of boring. It's whatever. And we're like, we're going to do this. We're going to raise a bunch of money. Everyone's like, you guys are crazy. Don't do this. So we go and we ask my buddy, George, who's a travel agent, hey, can you give us a trip? Give us a trip to Greece to sell. We did this whole thing, raised $85,000.
Wow.
Awesome event. It was a good deal for us, which is a lot of money for our church, right?
Yeah,
85
sure.
grand, right? And a guy comes up and he's like, hey, he brought us a couple autographs. We're like, we can use those as, to sell. And he's like, hey, you got this vodka. You want to buy this? And I go, yeah, sure. How much? He goes, this much. I go, yeah, I'll buy it. And it was garbage. It wasn't good. But for like 3 weeks, I'm like, man, I want to buy a vodka company. So we found this 8 Mile vodka. delicious. It was actually really good vodka. Had our high school colors on it, the royal blue. And we're like, we're going to go buy this. It was cheap. And so on the bottom it said born in Detroit. I go, how much? What's this? What's this all about? Like, well, we own that to trademark. Like, how much you want for it? He's like, it's kind of worthless. And I said, well, how much? He's like, this much. I go, well, I got this in cash on me. How about that? He's like, done.
Wow.
And we bought it for nothing.
Holy cow.
So that you on the spot bought the Born in Detroit trademark
with it. Yeah, along with it. Right. We just bought it together. What we're going to do with it, I don't know. We were like, who knows?
You have it.
We'll make a T-shirt out of it, right? So we started doing online sales, and we didn't make any money. We're like, okay, this is cool. People are wearing our shirts, and the vodka was our thing. We'll go do the vodka. The vodka's a tough business, man. It's a dirty business. You got to be super competitive. You got to grease everybody. Everyone needs this, that. So we started doing it. We're doing okay with it. We started getting to schools, like our high school, De La Salle, a bunch of Detroit public schools. And then for the draft was coming in 2024, we decided to go get a spot in downtown Detroit, just for like a little pop up for a couple weeks. And we were blessed to have, Gardner White come in and say, which they do a lot of business with me for Jimmy John's. We supply all food for all their stores. And they're like, hey, we're going to come in. We're going to make this beautiful for you. Can we put Gardner White on the wall? I go, put it everywhere. I don't care what you do with it, right? And Rachel and her team came in and they killed it. It looks awesome. So we did okay. I'm like, man, hopefully we can make like $10,000 for the week. That'd be awesome. It's like $136,000. It was like, I don't know.
During the NFL draft.
During the 3 days in the draft of Detroit. I've never seen anything like it. It was like, it's like a brand new like Lululemon. Everyone's in and out, one in, one out, one in, one. We're like, this is insanity.
Yeah.
Like, we lived there. We literally didn't go home.
Was it just you and your brother there? Or were
no,
there
was 4 of us, right?
Okay.
And then we had some of our employees and stuff. That some of my guys from my team from Jimmy John's would come and help us, Adam and Amy, and it was insane. It was insane.
That's crazy.
So we're like, okay. And then Bedrock was like, hey, you guys did a great job with your spot. It looks amazing. You guys want to stay for the summer? We're like, yeah, we'll check it out for the summer. We don't know if this is a legitimate business, right? And so we stayed for a couple months and we kill it. The Lions are awesome. Tigers were great. Whenever there was a game, we're booming, right? And so we're like, all right, let's do this. And now, boom, we're a permanent store. We did over $800,000 in sales.
Wow.
T-shirts, hats, and sweatshirts. I mean, that's stupid, right?
Yeah.
and again, folks, that make the turning point for Born in Detroit was the NFL draft. Correct. And that really springboarded the brand.
Correct.
Talk about what it's done now with other partnerships and deals.
I mean, we've got it all over the place. People are really loving it. We're franchising it out at this point. We can't talk too much on it, but there's going to be an announcement here pretty soon that there's going to be hopefully a franchisee or licensee down somewhere. And we have a few other ones that are really interested. And I think once we get one, there's 4 or 5 more coming right off the bat. And it's going to be cool. It's going to go everywhere. We own Born In. So Born In trademark, Born In anywhere we can do it.
Structure-wise, the trademark you own is Born In.
Correct.
So that's why you can do Born In, Troy, born in Ann Arbor, Born It wherever.
You can do that, and we own that. And it's a crazy. We never thought it'd pass. We didn't really think it'd actually get approved, and it was. Boom! It was great. And we have proof of concept. I mean, that's just all it is.
What's been one of the coolest partnerships? I'm sure, you're from a personal level, CC or stuff like that, but has there been a crazy one with professionally or college teams or something? A certain influencer? I don't know.
I mean, obviously, we're every school in the state. We have Michigan, Michigan State, Eastern, Western, Central, Oakland U, Wayne State, Ohio State. So we have 2 of the 3 biggest brands in the world, right? Ohio State, Michigan. One of the coolest collabs we did was with the Kurt Gibson Foundation, right? We did that. Obviously, he's huge here. Kurt is great here and in LA, right? With the Dodgers and all that, and worldwide. I mean, everyone knows who he is. He's hit 2 of the most iconic home runs of all time, right? 84 and in 88. So we did it with him and his team, and we blew this thing. We did like $20-some thousand in merch, and a lot of it went to the foundation. And it was a really cool way. We had not done anything with like foundations. It was more school-based, and you had like a nice little niche of people that would buy that, right? And we're like, man, this is a really cool thing. And then we started going, nationwide. And the biggest thing that really helped us was Devin Gardner. Gardner, former quarterback at Michigan. I don't know, Fox Sports Detroit. I don't know what it is now, FanDuel, whatever. He's a reporter, right? I gave a good friend of mine. I gave him some clothes. He wore it unintentionally. Wore it to practice, the Lions practice one day. He was talking to Dan Campbell, and it was the very first episode of Hard Knocks for the Lions were on.
Wow!
And it focused on him for 12 seconds. And it's him, Born in Detroit's right in the middle of his shirt. And he's talking, I love how you're working things out, coach, all this. within that half an hour, we did like $5,000 in sales online.
Wow.
And we looked, and almost every single thing was out of state.
Wow.
And we're like, that's the key. It's everyone loves where and feels love for where they're from, where they're born, where they're from. Don't necessarily live there anymore, but they still love it. And that's where that was a huge thing for us. Like, this can do something. This isn't just a, hey, everyone's wearing our t-shirts, right?
Right.
This can be a whole brand.
Well, from that, let's talk about brand partnerships for a second. And this is perfect with what you have going on right now. I don't know if you know it. So Allison's puppy, Miss Billy, is viral now on
No way.
Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of followers, tens of millions of views.
The dog has it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. We went to the golf show, people coming up to it. It's wild. But you, I know, just signed, because you signed with a agency to represent Miss Billy and all that you're doing with that.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of talk about philosophy on brand partnerships and influencer marketing, the trend of that nowadays. But why don't you speak to all that for a second too?
Yeah. I mean, I got the dog a month and a half ago, and I was like, I'm just going to start a channel. So I did, and it kind of just grew from there. And then management started reaching out to me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to miss out on a lot of money if I don't take this. So I did. And, you know, I have like Hungry Howie's reaching out to me, Chewy, all of these Puppy Bowl. Yeah. Things like that. So now I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do any of this. And I'm like, and I don't have the time. So, and I guess you had the time for everything, so I should. But
well, actually, I have a dog walking company and a pet. So in that franchise brand, the Phoenix brands, we have Fetch, it's called, and it's dog walking.
Okay.
It's a legitimate business. And I have like Dumb and Dumber. It's called Furryland. We have mobile pet grooming.
Wow.
And those two are the tops, the top two franchises in our 7 franchises. Mm-hmm. It's crazy
people
how
spend
much
money on pets.
People love their pets more than their kids.
Oh.
I swear.
I don't have kids, but I probably will.
You'll get there. But
yeah, it's been crazy. It's a different animal. And even just like learning from like management, I honestly like just took calls with anybody just to kind of learn more about the algorithm, how Instagram Meta and all those work. It's just seriously crazy how fast things can blow up. And then like in influencer marketing has just grown like crazy. I think there's a stat that it's looking to grow another like 300% in the next few years of what brands are going to spend on influencers. Yeah,
it's an insane market to think that one person can make your brand. Like it's just one of those things. It is. It's something you have to get it out there. Not everyone loves to do social media or be in the limelight.
Or even what we're doing right now, which is a very casual thing.
Yeah, you have to get I'm nobody, right? But people know me through, man, this guy's all over the place. He's got Jimmy John's, he's got Born in Detroit, he's got this, I'm on TV, I'm doing podcasts. Like, not because I'm just sitting here trying to brag. It's just part of the story of what we're doing, right? And there's a message to it, right?
Nowadays, we work with so many companies on this, but it is every industry is so competitive. It's such a competitive landscape, and you have to differentiate. And that differentiate is a big word for us here at Make the Turn, because we want to help companies differentiate through content and through obviously lead generation efforts. But you have to try and market and differentiate yourself nowadays.
You have to. And the funny thing is that people come up to me all the time, especially like at the gym or just out and about. And they're like, man, I see you all over the place. Like, how did you get into this? How did you do this? I'd love to do that. And it's one of those things where people sometimes are afraid to take that chance, right? They have a nice job. They do okay for themselves. They have a family. Like, they can't leave that job necessarily. But they want to take that chance, and everyone wants to own their own business, right? Mm-hmm. It's not the cards for everybody. It's not available for everybody. Like Jimmy John's is like a lower end price-wise in franchise, and it's $400,000 or $500,000. Mm-hmm. Like, not many people can have that, or not people can get loans for that, right? If you don't have assets to put behind that, right? So, being able to talk about things that I do and how to get into a business, you got to take a chance. You have to take a chance. And I try and tell I do a lot of keynote speaking and talking to younger high school, college kids, and take that chance while you can. You can screw this up and still recover. Mm-hmm. If you're 45 years old, maybe don't take that big of a chance, right? Yeah. Because you're already established. But you have to do that, and you have to get with the times sometimes, right? Like I'm 44, right? I'm older than I'm halfway dead, right? At this point, you have to look at it and say, how do I get better, right? I'm not good with tech. I'm not good with computers. I'm not good with social media. So you got to put people around you that are better than you. You have to be able to admit that to yourself, that I'm good at X, Y, and Z. I can talk to the floor. The floor is going to talk back to me, right? Mm-hmm. But I suck at everything, a lot of other things. So I have to put good people around me, and that's as good as you are. You aren't as good as your people. That's it. Yeah. You're as good as your people are.
when I left 97.1 and when Kyle and I started the companies, one of my big decision factors and turning points was, I had a good job. You're in public, the public limelight, whatever, on the radio, and I was making decent money. I was 26, but always wanted to start a business, always wanted to do something bigger. And I knew that, okay, if number one, if I just jump and dive into this, we're not going to fail. Like from a cocky standpoint, that
you have to have confidence.
We're not going to fail. But the biggest thing for me was, hey, if we make the turn and do this, and we do happen to fail, I hate even saying it, but if we do happen to fail, I can live with myself. I can look in the mirror and know that I tried and gave it my effort, and I'll go find something else to do, and I'll get another job. But I couldn't.
How many people told you were stupid for leaving that?
Oh, a ton, yeah.
Right? I don't even know, but I'm guessing everyone's like, "Oh man, you're on the radio. Everyone hears your voice every day. How do you leave that?"
But that was it.
You're the
Anthony.
next guy. You're the next, whoever.
I could not deal with thinking about one day, thinking, "What if?"
Sure.
And just staying, hey, I couldn't live with myself if one day I was thinking, what if I would have took that chance? What if I would have just done that? And that was a big tipping point.
But for many people, the safe route is the route, right? And so that's why you have to give credit to so many people that are entrepreneurs, because a lot of people do fail, and not because sometimes it's not their own fault. Sometimes it's someone told them X, Y, Z, and
80% of LLCs, 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years.
And then you see, what you tell people all the time. They open something, think I can open the door and I'm just going to make money. And that's not, that is the worst advice, the worst thing. When I talk to people, I give them the worst case scenario. I go, if you're not working that thing yourself, if you're not getting dirty, you're not grinding, you're not doing this, you're not going to make it, man. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, and that's again, that goes back to the whole athlete competitor. If I'm going to shovel poop, I'm going to be the best poop shoveler you've ever seen. Not because I think this is a great deal. It's just they're paying me to do X, I'm trying to get to a level. I'm going to show everyone I can make that happen. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we've talked about a lot, and I want to wrap up in a little bit and get some more advice as well for the people. But we've talked about your career, baseball, certainly Tomey Group, Jimmy John's, born in Detroit. We could spend another hour talking about all your other ventures, but talk about what else, Anthony, you have going on right now.
Yeah, so besides the Phoenix brand, we have that. We have the game above. We have the Detroit Amps. It's our basketball 3-on-3 basketball team, which is a really cool thing to do. I go meet Ice Cube. You meet all these NBA players that played for you used to watch on TV, and you're seeing these guys that play for you, right? They got Joe Johnson, one of the best players, probably one of the most underrated players in all of NBA history, right? He's our captain. He's on my team. It's really cool to be able to do things like that, and meet so many different people and open so many different doors that I would never open on my own, right? So it's a really cool thing with that. And I just enjoy it. I love coaching these kids, man. It's fun for me. I get into it probably a little bit too much. Yeah. I throw my own kid out of games all the time because he's a ball hog, and I don't want him to be that guy. I want to teach him the right way. Yeah. And I try not to coach him. I'm not going to do that. And then I see sometimes, and this is no offense to some of the parents that come in and they don't know, and they're just trying to help out. But I do know, right? I played the game. I played at the highest level. I played all the different sports. I'm a nut. I'm a sports crazy maniac. So at least I know what I'm doing. So I want to teach these kids the right way. I don't want to develop them. I want to develop the team and make sure these kids understand it's not about them. It's about the team at this point. And you got to move up, and you got to do things, and you got to work hard, right? You can't just, a lot of parents just throw money at the sports. Oh, my kid plays every camp and he goes all the sports. Did you go outside with your kid and play catch ever? Right. Put a little effort in, put some time.
Right.
Yeah.
You can bring him in all these camps, if he doesn't know how to do it, and he's not doing it besides the day he's here. That's it.
Totally.
So that's a big thing for me is, the family stuff. Like my wife, Rita, she's the best. She's great. She's able to, juggle so many different things that I couldn't do or wouldn't want to do, right? And she just takes it on and does it. And, that's my life now, right? As much as I want to keep growing these businesses, my wife and the kids are the life at this point.
And you do a lot with the community as well. You're very generous with sponsorships and with contributions too.
Thank you. We try to do that. We have to do that. You have to give back.
And I know you love playing golf.
I do love playing golf. I'm not as good as I'd like to be, obviously, but I try.
Maybe the next brand is a golf brand.
What's up?
Maybe the next brand's a golf brand.
Well, that's what we're going to try. Well, part of the game above, we just bought chips.
Right.
Which is a chip in the ball, and we just bought part of a Golf Traveler and McLaren clubs. So that'll be coming out here pretty soon.
And more importantly, I helped fix his swing last
Yes, without Sully, I'd still be I dropped some bombs here and there, right? But not
Yeah.
consistently. And he fixed it in literally 3 swings?
Yeah, it was great.
3 swings. And during the middle of our round, he's like,
Swing out to right field.
Do this. Go to right field with it. I'm like, that makes
It's a
so much
baseball
sense.
analogy.
It's
I was
a
going to say, it
baseball
must be
analogy for me.
hard playing golf after playing baseball for so long. Because
It is. Well,
totally different things.
I don't have that same
different
excuse because
swing.
I wasn't a hitter.
Okay.
But I was a pitcher. But
baseball
still,
players are over the top.
but no matter
swing
what, I
golf.
was a hitter my whole life,
Yeah.
right? So then it just is what it is. You just have that. You
Yeah.
come this way with it, and so it's tough because you should be good, right? Everyone
Right.
thinks baseball players should be good, just like hockey players should be good at golf. And I'm okay. I'm not the worst player of all time, but I definitely could get better.
Yeah.
And but yeah, Sully definitely helped me out and made it happen for me. So, but yeah, like I was going back to giving back, man. Like I've always been taught by my parents, and whatever you give, God will give you times 10.
Yeah.
And that's like a huge thing for us is you can't give to everybody, right? Everyone
Right.
asks for something, but you got to find what you're good at, what's specific you want to give to, what can maybe help you in return a little bit as well, but just make it meaningful, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to give to whatever you want to give to, and we're blessed to be able to do that, and we're happy to be able to help out a lot of different sponsorships and categories and different things that we do, and it means a lot to us for sure.
Yeah, your story is truly inspiring. I mean,
Thank you. Allison. Appreciate
everything you handle and things like that. So I'm excited to see where you go and
Yeah, definitely.
in the next 10 years, 20 years. So
No, I'm excited for you. You're just starting out in
Yeah.
this, and
Allison's been
just
great.
being around these two guys, right? Between Sully and Bogey and getting these guys out, you're going to grow. You're going to see so many things. You're going to meet so many people and different opportunities, and you got to soak this all in.
Yeah.
You got to take not what I'm saying, but like what a lot of different people combine and say and take and take every opportunity and run with it, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have so many different opportunities in life, and you can't say yes to everything. But you have to take some risks. You got to say yes. I'm a yes guy.
yeah.
I'll do anything. I'm kind of nuts, right? But I've put myself in a position where I can take a chance and take a chance on a nothing born in Detroit. What the hell is that, right? And take it to the next level because of the connections I've made throughout my life, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it is. At the end of the day, we all know it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yep.
Right?
And
So
I've learned that.
it's
I
really
thought
is.
everyone just said it, and just
No.
working here and things, it's like, it's who you know, and
who you
that's
know.
how I got the job. So
Get
it's
you in the
not,
door, then you perform.
Yeah, then you got to
Exactly.
perform. Then you
Yeah.
have to perform. Then it's on you, right?
Yeah.
You got to get the one hook up, and then you got to perform.
yep.
I will. George has been bothering me to ask this to every guest at the end, so I will ask. Again, Anthony, we talk about make the turn, the turning point in your career. What was it?
It was admitting to myself that the baseball is over, right? That's the turning point in my life. I feel like that if you have, as much as you want to keep playing, that's your dream, right? That's all I thought about as a kid is I'm going to be a professional baseball player. And like we said, 0% of people can say that, they get there. So I did. And I was like, man, I was the number one pitcher in high school, right? In the state of Michigan. I was a top guy in the MAC. Once you get there, it humbles you in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I'm throwing 94, 95. Everybody's throwing 94. Everyone's 6'3". Everyone's throwing 90 plus. Everyone's got a curveball and changeup. You have to differentiate yourself from everybody else. Like, boy, they're all the same guy. We're all the same exact dude. How do you make yourself different? And that pushes you to work harder, do this, do that. And then at some point, you have to humble yourself again and say, all right, I'm good. I lived it out. I had an awesome career. Let's move on
you went
to the next
business and you're
chapter.
crushing it.
Yeah, move on to the next chapter, and then you just keep going from there. And there's a plan.
What advice do you give to people on that topic of trying to get comfortable making big decisions?
You have to take numbers. Don't lie. Numbers don't lie, right? So you have to understand where you're at in life and see exactly what your next step's going to be. Like you have to take that calculated decision, and every decision you're going to make, there's going to be
Risk tolerance.
tons of risk, right? Like anything I'm going to make a decision now and anything we're going to do I say, man, we might go to World War III. I'm not doing this right now, right? Like who knows what's going to happen? If you live your life like that, you're never going to go anywhere. There's always going to be something in your way. You have to be like, I'm going to push through. I'm going to be better than that. I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell my employees all the time, I will never tell you something I can't come through with, right? And if you're a man of your word or a woman of your word, you will be successful because everyone will trust you and jump on your back and you'll take them to the next level.
I love that.
Yeah.
Our word of the year at Make the Turn is action. And it's because there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of thoughts, but how can you take action and make it happen? Not just talk about it, but take action and actually do it. So,
that's 100%. That's what it is.
You have a ton going on. Congrats on all the success. Anything like just at the very end, just for people watching or that we can clip, just whether it's getting in touch with you guys, checking out Born in Detroit or Game Above, anything you want to just share?
I mean, I'm an open door, guys. Anyone needs anything, advice, just wants to talk, have a cup of coffee, and just ask me questions. I'm always available to do that for people. bornindetroit.store is our website for online. My office is in Farmington Hills. Anyone wants to reach out, I'm more than willing to talk to anybody about stuff. LinkedIn, Instagram, all that stuff. People can reach out to me there. I'm open for anybody. I love helping people. I love seeing success. I've been very blessed to be able to be in a position I'm in. Yeah. And if I can help anybody, I will. And that's just who I am and what I'm all about.
Love it. You need to get Miss Billy a Born in Detroit dog.
Yeah.
I'll make her a whole thing, man. A whole little outfit.
She's open book.
For fetch.
Do a TikTok of her coming to the store in Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Make the Turn with Anthony Tomey. Appreciate you as always. We ran into each other yesterday at the March Madness party. It was as always great to catch up with you and appreciate you coming in, man.
Definitely. Thanks for having me on. Honor as always. Love what you guys are doing and Make the Turn with the Metro Detroit golfers. Happy for you, proud of you, man. You guys have started from zero. You started from zero, and you are where you are, and you're growing your company. You got great people coming on board. Impressive to see, and everybody has their own individual story, and you guys have taken your story from where it is to now crushing this as well. And I'm really proud of you guys, man.
Likewise, awesome. Man. Appreciate it. And thanks everyone for watching, and we'll obviously catch up soon.
Definitely.